Alright, Shipyard. Probably our greatest challenge yet. This is our first fully fledged dungeon with lots of twists and turns, so this might need some practice, especially if you're using step manipulation. First things first, we need a thief back on the party. Faris is going to fulfill this role. She is pretty much a thief 24/7 until she learns the dash skill, which is going to take 60 ability points. This is mostly a byproduct from how the game is routed. We always want a thief on party for dungeon navigation, but it will be a hassle to switch that job class on and off again for every single boss. So, to make menuing easier, every boss skill is set up in such a way that you have the thief as an auxiliary backup, and then the other three dudes will perform boss skills. And dash is just a result of that. Since we're here, we might as well set up blue mages. We need that party in order to destroy Siren, so line us up first. We're going to equip a broadsword on Lena manually, because if you optimize, you're going to get this random equipment, which we do not want on Lena. Lena is going to stay as a blue mage until we reach Galura as a menu optimization. And on the next segment, we might need to set Lena on critical HP ourselves by hitting her. And the armor is just going to get in the way of that, so no armor. The other two are a simple menu. However, blue mage, optimize, same deal for bards. Do notice that bards has the dagger equipped. We specifically want the broadsword on Lena out of the couple we have available. Like I said, she's going to stay on this job class up until Galura, and Golden Punch is based off of your weapon strength, so we want to give Lena the strongest weapon available just to carry that over into that fight. But yeah, our cursor should be over bards. And as a reminder, you want the 222 total steps, so we can perform the step route on this segment as it should be. We can get a start here. Over here on this door, when you enter it, it's going to change tiles. Like, the game needs to trigger an event for this thing to open up from a closed door tile to an open door tile. So consider that every door on this dungeon is going to have an event tile in front of it. Just something to keep in mind as we run across the shipyard. Before entering this room, we want 7 steps. So run here, down, and then come back. It's technically 8 total, but thanks to the event tile, we are able to eat up 1 step and go from an even to odd step count, which we want to avoid an encounter later on. Down here, we want to get 16 steps. So go to the left, touch the wall, come back, and re-enter the previous room. We do this to refresh the danger rate, then go back down immediately, and keep going. Over here on this next tile we have an event, but the cutscene itself puts us below the event tile, so there is no risk of going over it. One more time. Now let's take a dip. Here you want to hug this corner so that you ensure that you don't overshoot the tile. If you go over here, then you can just make a straight line into the stairs. Down here, underwater, we need 8 steps. How do we do that? What I like to do is go down here, left, and just do like some manner of a circle shape around this platform. If you go left first and then down, then you could overshoot the tile, because there is no wall stopping your movement here. So it's safer and more consistent to go down. Just keep that in mind, else you gotta be careful. Now, back here, on the previous room, we want to get 10 steps before moving on. So go to the left, touch the wall, come back, and that's it for step manipulation on these rooms. In this crate, you want to grab the treasure. We're going to put that money to good use soon enough. Now, down on this room, you want 4 steps. So that's a couple tiles of movement. You can do it here on this wall so that you have something stopping your movement. But oh yeah, over here you want to go to the right to grab this potion, don't forget that. It's nice for safety, especially if you spend too many. You will need that healing for Galura. But yeah, sometimes after grabbing that potion I overshoot to the left, and then my step manip is ruined because you will get an encounter for leaving the room. So what I like to do is grab the potion, and then 2 tiles over here I go back down and do my movement in front of the stairs to guarantee that I don't misstep on the way here, so that I delay this to the last moment possible and have that backup in case I need to correct the misstep or some such. On this room we need a couple of steps, so that's one tile of movement. You can do it here, or here, or here. I like doing it down here because you have walls and you can assess if you misstepped somewhere on the way, so I do that movement for similar reasons as to the previous room. Over here we find out that the Pharisees are a girl. Oh no! Secret of the century, my friends. This room doesn't advance the danger rate. Also, you could retake the sleepy cutscene, but there is no reason to, because cutscene itself gave us a free heal. Also, when you enter this dungeon, the Shipyard, it gives you a free heal as well, so there shouldn't be any inconsistency issues with your health. This room also doesn't advance the danger rate, so it's safe to misstep around here. Now we just run straight across the middle deck, and notice that we have a ton of dungeon steps before the next encounter happens. We need a lot of tiles to be able to dodge the stuff here. Over here you want to enter this room and then go back down immediately. Just forget about the war map. This step route doesn't allow us to grab it. But if you really need a map to know where you are located, there is another one on the STEM ship. If you don't grab this one, then the game places more maps throughout the worlds, but I think it's good practice to not need to use a map to know where you are located, so that you retain that muscle memory. Now, oh yeah, something I glossed over is crossing over these rocks. There is an event tile in front of it to make that happen, so just like pretend that you are walking on top of the rock. The danger rate never advances while you are jumping across this, so if you need to come back, then you're safe. Now over here, you want to go next to this break and rise the ship. And like I said, the tiles in front of the rocks are event tiles. For this particular one, we want to walk in front of it, so be careful about getting eager and going up. You want to go left first, then up to cross the event tile, and then we are one step away from an encounter with random. So this dungeon is very precise in regards to step manipulation. You don't really have many chances to misstep. But now it's time for Siren, and oh boy, this battle is very fun because we gotta deal with the Siren spell roulette. Let's go. Alright, Siren is... I wouldn't call her tricky, she's more annoying than anything else. Now, she has unique actions all across her AI script. On every turn she can do something different. Now, something to keep in mind on this battle is that our first instinct is that we need to kill Siren as quickly as possible. Because she has two forms. She has the human form, as I like to call it, and the undead form. The human form casts spells, the undead form deals physical damage, but more importantly, they have different drop tables. As a human, Siren always drops a bronze armor, and as an undead, she always drops a bronze shield, and we want that bronze armor for the money it sells for later. So it is imperative that we kill Siren quickly to prevent the undead form from happening. The undead form appears on the 4th round of combat of the human form, so we need to kill her on 3 rounds, or else we won't get the bronze armor drop. On the first round, she can use Mute, Slow, or Haste. Mute is whatever. Blue mages can still cast Golden Punch even if they are muted, so it's not a concern at all. Slow is annoying, it just neuters one of your characters. Hopefully it's Faris because she's not contributing much on this battle. And Haste is the dangerous one, because it means that she will get 3 rounds total instead of 2, including this one. So it might mean that she might get a couple attacks instead of 1, which could get overwhelming, but don't worry, don't panic, because Siren is not that dangerous. Alright, so let's see what she gives me here. Also, before the battle starts, you want to hold R and then A to offer a defense action for Faris, because you just want to get rid of that turn quickly. Okay, we got mute. Oh, we got a mute miss. That is hilarious. That spell can miss. It probably went for Galu for Bards, and my magic defense allowed me to dodge that. That is the Taz strat right there. But I got really lucky there, because mute is just among the friendliest things that Siren can do. On the second round, she can do Cure, Ice, or Scan. Cure is annoying, because it means that you need an extra Golden Punch to kill her. Ice means somebody dies, so you have to revive them. Scan means nothing, you can ignore that. Now, we're going to kill Siren with Golden Punch. We need 4 total, or more depending on the spells she casts. Now, what is Golden Punch or tool for offense here? Goblin Punch has a quirk in that it multiplies 8 times in damage if you share the same level as a target. And the Siren is level 2. She's very underleveled, specifically to avoid Goblin Punch from happening or being useful on casual gameplay. But we routed it so that we have this ability disposal to deal massive damage to Siren. So we're just gonna launch this for 200 easy damage a pop. Lena and Galuf will have the same damage ranges. Bars is a tiny bit weaker because the dagger has 1 point of strength less than the broadswords, but the difference is negligible. It shouldn't affect the battle too much. But yeah, in order to select Goblin Punch, this is an acquired skill, I want to say, because I use like have this tell for how long I have to scroll before pressing right, because I just guide myself by the audio cues. So the more you play the game and the more you do this boss battle, then the more experience you will gather to know how to select the Goblin Punch quickly. But there is no trick to it. You just gotta know offhand how much you gotta scroll to select it. Now, like on the second round, you want to wait for Siren to attack to see if she uses ice, so you can revive characters. Which didn't happen, and Siren is just uncharacteristically kind today. If Siren uses haste on the first round, then it means that she will get her third round of combat. She can use armor, sleep, or bolt. Armor means that you just need more Goblin Punches to kill her. It's annoying, but better than dying, I suppose. Sleep is effectively the same as dying, but you don't waste time reviving people. Just ignore sleep if it happens. Bolt, if that happens, you might as well just finish off Siren. Worst case scenario, she uses haste, ice, and bolt. That means that a lot of people died, so if this happens, I would use kill Siren as quickly as possible to once again get that bronze armor. We cannot let her to become an undead, we need that money. So nobody really needs AP on this battle. We don't learn anything from blue mages, so it's safe to ignore the AP on that job class. Faris has excess thief AP by the time she gets the dash skill, so she can miss a boss hero there, but don't overdo it. So this could be one instance where she can afford to miss AP and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But this battle is not tough, you just gotta know how to react to Siren. But yeah, because of the cure I need an extra Goblin Punch, and that'll be the end. With that juicy bronze armor to sell for later. And when you go out, you want to be at 197 total steps to know you are on step route.